Hello, another great week at Dr. James McConnell's The Small Business Network with co-host Joyce Ingham. How you doing, Miss Joyce?
Hello, hello.
And we got our fashion design expert, you gotta have a clue, with Helen Clewis. You like that, Miss Helen, didn't you?
All right.
Man, we have a cloudy day here in Mesquite, Texas. How's y'all day going? Good or what?
It's good. So far, it's going well.
That's what I'm talking about. I know, Miss Helen, you said that you were going to be going to the fair soon. So are you going to make it kind of before the rain or what?
Well, it's going to be later this afternoon, and rain is not even an option. Not a deterrent at all.
Really?
We going.
That's what I'm talking about. But you do know, I think, if everything was right, I think it's going to be sunny Thursday on, I think, in case it stops you, that's all.
I'm taking my dad. He wants to go today along with the rest of the family. So
y'all just have umbrellas with you, that's all.
We're going to have the umbrellas. We're going to go somewhere and watch a show until it stops.
I love it. Miss Joyce.
Yes.
It's so nice to have you on
James.
set. See, Miss Joyce, y'all always calling in when you see her pretty face on TV all the time. Well, now she's here and gracing us with her presence. We're glad to have you, Miss Joyce.
Thank you so much, Dr. James. I am just honored to be with you all on today.
Well, let's get into advertisement, Miss Joyce. What are some ways to advertise your business?
Well, for me, I always say go back old school, word of mouth, flyers. Other avenues could be social media. And just getting out there and getting yourself known and getting visible so everybody know, hey, this Miss Joy's business right here, so that'll be a good means of ways of advertising your business. Again, word of mouth, because you provide a good service or you have good product. Two, also doing business cards as well. Flyers, social media, because it's free. Hello. Anybody like free stuff? You know how we can do that. So free stuff is out there with our advertisement on our social media. So those are good avenues of advertising.
So who should advertise your small business?
Well, of course, me first of all would have to do the advertising, and then I could select, children are always a good source of helping you to promote your business, advertise your business. If you do the flyer thing or what have you, going from business to business, like in market centers and stuff like that. So children, friends, and family.
Awesome. So that was advertisement. Let's talk about advertise. Who should you advertise? Why should you advertise your business?
Well, the first thing is to bring in some moolah, cho-chos, as I call it.
Cho-cho.
Cho-chos, Miss Helen, cho-chos,
Oh,
Miss
yeah,
Helen.
we learning cho-chos.
Is the reason why you're doing what you do, part of the reason why you're doing what you do. As I often say, my passion. So anytime there's a passion, then I'm going to be in tune, I'm going to be focused in order to be able to advertise.
So should you advertise your business on social media?
Again, of course you should, because that's where a lot of the platforms take place at, is on social media. That's how you hear about different things: YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. All of those accounts are very good sources of advertisement for you.
And that's one of the things that I actually teach. I do teach people how to get on social media and how to engage, because it's not about just advertising, because social media means just that. It means being social. So
exactly.
Yes, you advertise, but just being honest, the amateurs, they just post the links, post the business. But see, everybody does that. So what you have to do to make yourself different and make yourself special, the professionals, they may post their link in their business once in a week's time. What they normally do is they engage their audience, they engage a customer, or they're just talking to people. Hello, how are you? How's your day? Tell me about what you do. Right. That's what you got to do. And I'll show you that as we go, guys. I'll show you how to engage more on social media.
Well, thank you, Dr. James, for that information.
Appreciate it.
So let's get into timing. How important is it to launch a business at the right time?
Well, as I stated, we all are in, pandemic frenzy, and timing is very important. And then there's a business that I do with my food. I know last year we had high rates of COVID, so that would not have been a good time. So timing is very, very important because you want to be able to meet the needs of the customers and you want to keep everybody safe. So at the end of the day, timing is very, very crucial for your business, your small business.
If I can say something on that effect, because it is very important timing, what you're saying with the COVID and everything, because my plan was to begin my sewing classes, instructing during the COVID shutdown in March when we were actually quarantined.
Yes.
And so that was not a good time at all. So
Exactly.
timing is very important.
Awesome, awesome. So how many hours should you give to a beginning business?
As many as
Good
required.
question. Good
So that is a very good question. You, as being the person that you're the owner of the business, you're going to put in more time than say your sister or say your cousin you got working for you. So you're going to put in those extra hours of your business because you're trying to get it out there. You're trying to promote yourself. You're trying to advertise your business, market your business. So it's very important to be, rested up. Sometimes you may lose some rest, huh, Dr. James?
Oh, for sure, for sure.
Sometimes you may do 12 one day, you may do 16 the next day. That's just how it goes sometimes. Somebody may not come to work. Who has to fill in that spot? Why again?
Come on.
And you never know. I mean, it's just one of those deals where how many hours should you work? Well, when you first start a business, you should never worry about that.
Exactly.
I mean, and it's not like a person that has a job, because a job, let's say if you're working from 9 to 5, well, you can look forward to getting up at 5 and then going home and eating, seeing your family, whatever you want to do. But when you have a business, you can't, if you try to say I'm gonna work from 9 to 5, it don't work like that.
It don't always work. No,
now,
sir.
I'm not saying that if you have a restaurant, then you can say 9 to 5.
Right.
Maybe you can do that. But if you're a mobile restaurant, or if you're whatever business it's you,
That's right.
then you should never set a time, especially when you're starting. I just get started anytime between 7 and 10, but never have a stopping time until you have to. Even if you got to go pick up the kids, meaning I'll go pick up my kids. A lot of time in the middle of what I'm handling, I'll just stop and then I go get them. Sometime I'm on time, most of the time I'm late. Hey, I got to take them on, then I go back to what I'm doing.
Exactly.
That's a good part of having your own business. You can come and go. Obviously, if it's something real important, you can't stop and go. Like if you're doing this show, you can't say, well, let me hurry up and go get him, I'm coming. No, you got to work it around it.
Exactly.
Or if you're dealing with a customer. So I love that. I know, Ms. Joyce, you want to ask me some questions, so I'm going to let you take the floor.
Okay, Dr. James, thank you so much. The topic is part-time and full-time business. What are the difference?
Well, a part-time business is normally what someone that has a job does. A person that has a job, I think Ms. Helen can kind of attest, because I think she has an earlier job, right?
Definitely so. Yes.
It's like it's a double-edged sword, right?
Yes.
When you're working a job and doing that, well, the first thing it can give you is security, because you feel like, oh, I got a check coming, and then everything else you do on the side can be gravy. That's the good part of it.
Yes.
The bad part of it is that same security keeps you from having enough time of growing your business. It's a balancing act. When you're first starting, you have to just do them both, because you have to, so you really have to work harder when you're doing that at first. You have to work harder. And if you stay that way for your whole career, then that's just how you got to be.
Right.
But if you're ever aiming toward living from your business, sooner or later you have to be able to, once you're making a decent amount of money on your business, you have to let the other one go to part-time and then go. So,
well, Dr. James, it's not always making a certain amount of money on your business. As you grow and I feel like determining the years that you have been in business, you should be more established, and you should be at a point where you can just let that other business go, because you have matured in your business as well as in who you are as a person.
That's right.
And you are now eligible for different types of benefits where you don't have to have a job.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
And so that makes sense. But it's one part that I have to differ from you. You say, well, the money, you got to pay bills, Miss Helen.
for sure.
You got an electric bill and a water bill and maybe a car note. So the point is, if you don't make enough money to pay that on your business,
Well,
you got to work the other job.
Exactly. That's why I say once you establish the money that you
Right.
want to make on that business,
Right.
that's maturity in your business.
Absolutely.
Well, I
Well-
even had a thought about that. You know, it's called launching out and stepping out on faith.
All right.
So you have to, first of all, you don't want to live above your means.
Right.
You want to stay within your budget. And then once opportunity does present itself for you to launch out on just solely the business aspect, your business, then hey, you'll be able to take that leap. But don't forget, faith without works is dead.
Come on.
That's right.
Okay, Dr. James, another question. What type of effort is needed?
Oh man, I'm glad you said that. So if you're gonna do a part-time business, then it's a different type of effort. Both requires a lot of effort, but if you're already working, let's say, a full-time job and your business is part-time, the effort is really in the hours and being tired. So the effort means your main job, that's what you do. But when you get off, you can't, I'm tired today, I'm gonna skip, I'm not gonna do it today. You can't be like that.
Ain't
You
gonna
have
be
to
able
go
to
do
do
it.
it.
That's right.
that effort. But full-time, that's a different level of effort. Full-time, if you don't have a business full-time, you have to be, I love this word, you have to be relentless.
Yes.
You have to
Love it
work
too.
all day and work hard, because a lot of the things you do won't get you paid. It's all about organizing this, what you got to do today, calling customers, tell them what you got to do, when can you come take care of this, blah, 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 whatever. That part don't really pay you. You just have to get it organized and then go do the work. So full-time requires a relentless pace. Part-time requires more effort because you're getting off work tired.
Yeah.
But
that's
they
true.
both require the same effort.
Yes.
One is just a different brand of effort.
Okay, Dr. James, let's go on to another topic. Predicting what people want. How do you predict the market?
Okay, so I learned this from Walmart and Coke, Pepsi, and let me explain. Coca-Cola by themselves, they spent last year about $25 billion
Wow.
on commercials and surveys.
Okay.
So what I do and what I've done is I'll do surveys asking people questions like what would they like to learn in a class setting, and I'll put stuff like real estate, stock market, make money online, make money from your cell phone, vending machines, ATMs. And then I'll ask, would they like to do it in a class setting or online?
Okay.
So when they answer that question, and let's say I could at least get over 100 people to answer that survey, which on most of my surveys I have over 100, some I have over 200. So what happens is the software I use puts it in a graph. So let's say 71% of people wanted to make money from home.
Right.
That I had another 70.2% that wanted to do it not in the class setting, but online. Okay. So what does that mean? When it tells me 70%, what it means is every 10 people you meet, you can predict that 7 out of 10 is going to care about it that way.
Wow.
That's what Pepsi and Coke and Walmart does. Amazon, any company that does this kind of thing, which most do, they predict. So that means when I'm meeting people, because I know 70+% of people want to do this from home and online because it's more convenient.
Yes.
Whenever I'm meeting people, I'll say, okay, hey, we can do this from home. Or I can say, now, if you want to come in, that's great, but man, we can help you do this from home. Well, if I'm telling 10 people this, I'm knowing 7 is going to like it.
Yes.
So that's what you use that for.
Okay. Does it work?
It does. It really does, because when I talk to people and I assume that they're one of those 7 and they seem to be excited, I'm like, man, I see this working just like that. And so it's simple, because you think, well, man, if I send out a survey, how many people to... So how to do it is you don't just send people surveys randomly. What you do is I send them to people in my phone, and I go on the phone, hey, do me a favor, and I stay on the phone and I walk them through it, and I don't get off until they do it.
Okay.
And it don't take but a minute.
Right.
So just, hey, tell me when, so I'll do that, and I remember whenever I'm focused on it, I'll send that to 10 to 15 people per week and get those people. And then sometimes when I'm not focused on it, I'll send it to 5 people in a 2 or 3 month period, then do it. So I'm kind of on and off because it's just me.
Right.
If you're just posting it, some people may, you really have to post it every day to get even 5 people to do it. But if you focus on sending it to people, they will do it. They will do it because you're not letting them off the phone.
Right.
And I'm aggressive with that. Hey, do this for me before you get out the phone. And it's valuable. They just don't understand how valuable that is for a business. So keep that in mind. Whatever field you're in, do a survey about, do you like fashion? Do you like whatever you're do you like, and how would you like to learn this course? How you like, and you do that. Now, even though I can predict 7 out of 10, I do individualize it. Meaning if I'm talking to one person and they tell me they want like this and this, then I focus what I'm going to say on what they just showed me.
Right, exactly.
So, yeah, that's how you do it.
Okay, good, Dr. James. Thank you so much. Let's talk a little bit about habits of successful people. Daily goal setting and what to do.
Okay, so habits of successful people, they always make daily goals. Now, you could first think, oh, that means business, what you got to do. But no, it also means everything included. Like when you have to go to a doctor appointment or when you have to go and whatever, you have to say, okay, at 10, I got to go to the doctor appointment. Then when I get done, I need to go do the show at 12. You need to write this down or put it in an app. When I was in my 20s, I used to write everything down on a notebook like that and I'd read it. But I have it on my phone now in an app. So then I say, okay, at 2, I got to go to Miss Crawford to go fix a dent. And then I say, okay, I got to go get the kids at 3:30, and I do that. And I say, okay, then we got to take one to practice and I got to go do. I'm mapping this out. And typically I used to do the whole week, but things change in the whole week. So I'll do daily. I just do daily. So when that day is done, then I can kind of, I'll even put in there reading this book. So around 8 or 9 o'clock, if I'm not doing something else, I'll read that book. Then I'll say, Miss Helen, we're gonna do this show, and then if it works, and then sometimes if stuff comes between it, I let them know, hey, it's gonna be another day. But you try to follow those tasks because there's times that I forget. I say, oh yeah, I gotta go to the store and go, or I gotta go and get more business cards. But it's wrote down.
Right.
See, all I gotta do is read it. So I think that's very, very, very important.
I think for me, I live by my cell phone. I don't make appointments. I said hold up, let me look at my calendar.
Right.
Absolutely.
That's a must for me.
Absolutely.
And I said if I ever have to come across getting another phone, everything in my phone has to be transferred.
Has to
Really?
be.
Down to text messages,
on
contacts, calendars, everything has to be
text.
transferred.
Okay, I got you.
Over. Okay, Dr. James, let's talk a little bit.
Old school
I'm
on
sorry.
that. I'm sorry. I'm still
Go
kind
ahead,
of old
Miss
school.
Helen.
I got my little agenda book that I carry.
That's
My
perfect.
kids laugh at me. Look at Mama, we're having a mother and daughter day where we out eating lunch. And I said, well, can I pencil you in?
I got you.
That's
And they
good.
laughing. I'm like, Mama, look at Mama. They between themselves. Mama, look at Mama. Sister, look at Mama. But it works.
It works.
Absolutely.
Okay, Dr. James, let's talk a little bit about being results oriented. What does that mean?
Okay, so every day that you set your goals, you should always think of the ending goal. Now, there's bigger, higher things that you should think of, like the finished thing that you want to do. Let's say if you're like, okay, in my mind, let's say the real estate investing part of me. Okay, I have a few properties, right? But my goal is to reach first 20, and then 40, and then 100. And then after I reach 100, then I'll kind of think about more. You have to do that because the subconscious does things that you don't understand. You have to do stuff like that or you won't reach for stuff. So that's why you should reach for the star. So the ending means if you know today the ending of all your agenda is I want to get this show done, I want to get my doctor appointment done, I want to go make this money with this customer to help them do whatever. Then after that, I want to go and set myself, I need to go prospect at Walmart, which I'll do. I'll go there and just walk around and pass out cards. I got to get me at least 5 new phone numbers. I write all that down for real. And then if you do that, you're going to go do it. See, if you don't write it down, you seem to not have time to do it then. You won't say, well, I didn't have time today. But that's because it's not really the subconscious is not allowing you to do it because you're really putting other things, the brain just puts other things ahead of it. But if you put it down and you read it, the brain read it too now.
That's
so
right.
when the brain says, oh, at 5 o'clock, I need to go and prospect for an hour at Tom Thumb or Kroger, but that just means grab a buggy. Sometimes I grab a buggy and put 5 items in there and act like I'm shopping, but I'm not. I'm all like, hey, let me get your car. Let me tell you what we do.
Exactly.
You know, and so if you do that, your mind will start conditioning you to do those things.
Thank you so much, Dr. James.
That's
Man,
that
great
was a
news.
great answer.
Great
thank you.
information.
We're gonna slide in our fashion design expert, Miss Helen. Miss Helen, let's get into fashion.
All right.
What's your favorite color?
My favorite color, I have a couple, maybe even 3. Red, white, and black.
Red. Now hold on. Why wasn't it red, white, blue? How come it went to red, white, and black?
I don't know. Black power.
I got you.
right.
What do you do in fashion, Miss Helen?
Far as the fashions, basically I just kind of give a person an idea what type of garment would fit them best and give them the most pop in their personality. You know, fashion all deals with that, your personality, where you're going, and what your favorite colors, are they good for your skin complexion and all that type of stuff. That's fashion.
So, and this is a question that I wanted to ask, but do you serve women and men or only
Oh
women?
yes, absolutely. I have male customers as well as women. Also children, youngsters. This time of the year, I have a lot of high school students that come to me for prom alterations, prom dresses made. They have a certain style, they send a book. I mean, I can get as close as I can to it because that's another designer's design.
Right.
So I can bring it as close to it as possible. And that becomes my design.
I like it. I like it. Well, let's get into courses. What courses are you starting to teach?
I would say a beginner's sewing course. And it's just basic sewing. It's basically learning the machine, its functions, and different terms that you use in sewing. We may make something very simple where you learn how to make a straight stitch to a corner and how to turn a corner and make another straight stitch. Something very simple, but a completed garment.
Well, give us an example of some of the terms and what, kind of what people got to learn.
Well, yeah, you would have to learn what it means to make a stitch or a seam. A seam is requiring 2 pieces of fabric put together and sewn together. That's what you call a seam.
Right.
And you just see the visible seam. You would want to learn what a bobbin is, what its function. You want to know what thread is. A spool of thread, you might say. It's a simple twine of thread, but you would place on the machine. You want to learn where that goes on the machine, the different parts of the machine. It's really not real simple, and it's not very complex. Once you learn the terms, then you're able to do a lot more.
So how much is it to actually take this course?
I charge generally starting at $35 for a beginning class like this.
Right.
Yeah, about $35 for an hour class. And usually a course like beginners, I would probably take you on 3-hour course to complete and learn everything. And I wouldn't necessarily do it all 3 in one day unless that's what you want to do.
Right.
We can do that.
If someone wants to do that, right?
Yeah, and if not, we can do it once a week and come up with the 3 hours.
So you'll be flexible with the customers for us, kind of working around their schedule and work schedule.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Awesome, awesome. Well, let's get into learning. What do you do to continue learning, Miss Helen?
I've just here lately, I've gone on to YouTube and looked at some things. But basically, I just experiment a lot. I experiment a lot. I do a lot of remaking of garments, taking old things and taking them apart and putting them back together, stuff like that. I read a lot of books on fashion, and I'm really focusing kind of like on increasing my ability in designing. because I have ideas and I just want to be able to draw it and see it myself. You know, and so I've read a lot of books on design and body shapes and accessorizing an outfit, things like that.
Man, I love that. So I heard you say YouTube. Is there any other way that you normally try to keep learning?
I was hoping to start a fashion course at Mountain View.
Okay.
They offer a course down there in designing, but it has a lot of prerequisites to it, and I'd have to finish a associate degree to get to that part, but maybe one day.
Miss Helen, I love how you said prerequisite, because most of the time people slur that word prerequisite and they kind of mess up the word. So I'm so glad you said it so crystal clear. Prerequisite.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
So, okay, do you read books, Miss Helen?
I do. I read all types of books,
Like?
especially on fashions, and I just like reading biographies,
Right.
stories of people's success, you know, where they have come from and things like that. I like reading.
Are we talking about in the sewing field?
Yes and no.
Okay.
I do love reading myself, and from, again, in my 20s to even now, I have books I haven't even finished yet because I don't like to stick with one book until I'm finished. I like to read 3 and 4 books at the same time.
Wow.
So what I do is I'll read, and not normally, again, not every single page. What I'll do is, and most of the books are about business and growth and everything, about everything, customers, how to talk to customers, what to do, blah, 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 right? So what I'll do, let's say a book is 150 pages, okay, 200 pages. Well, I'll read everything that's pertinent. So what I'll do is, if once it sounds good, I'll start reading. Once I get into something that doesn't really matter to me, and I start scanning, because you can't just skip because you don't know what's going. I'll scan. I just kind of scan through until something grab my eyes. Okay, then I start back reading. You know, so out of 150 pages, I probably read 80, but the whole book. Now, on top of that, once I read the whole book, I start over immediately, because you seem to miss stuff
Exactly.
that you get on the second time.
Absolutely.
See, so I don't finish reading and then stop.
Yeah.
I finish reading and then I start over. But because I like to go 3 books all at once, I seem like it takes me almost a year to finish 3 books because I'm switching. Then I don't have time to read, and then so I get into the YouTube and all that stuff. But hey,
Well,
having said
I like
that,
the movies. I like doing movies like that. I'll watch it once. I'll watch it twice. I'll wait a week and I'll go watch it again.
right. Well, hey, having said that, guys, we're at the end of our show. We got to end it there.
Okay.
Hey, thank you guys for tuning in to the Dr. James McConnell's The Small Business Network. And for our co-host, Joyce Ingham.
Thank you.
And fashion design expert, Miss Helen Clewis. I am Dr. James McConnell, and we'll see you guys same channel, same time. You know what I mean. 4 p.m. Saturday, Central Standard Time.